Republican Congressman Mike Waltz sits on the House Armed Services Committee, served as a Green Beret commander in the U.S. Army, also a veteran of the war in Afghanistan. So right on time. Let's start with Iran and this whole thing. Because that comes up no matter who's in the Oval Office right now visiting, but particularly from that part of the world. Iran says they have 17 so-called American spies and that they have already begun to execute some of them. We are saying that's not true. What do we know?
Well, from what it appears, Harris, is that these are, we need to make the distinction that these are Iranian nationals working on their nuclear program and their missile program that the Iranians are accusing of working with the United States. And this is, another play out of their age-old playbook of ramping up tensions when they're desperate. And right now, because the maximum pressure campaign and the economic sanctions are working and working in a big way, you're going to continue to see them to lash out, whether it's against oil tankers or accusing some of their citizens and scientists of being spies, because they need to divert their domestic populace, which is rioting and which is hurting under these sanctions, in order to create an external crisis. But I want to make that distinction as opposed to American citizens that the Iranians are also holding. One is a former UN worker, one is a Princeton student, that they're also accused of spying. So this is, they just kind of spread that around. And on the very quickly on the point with Pakistan, we also have Americans. We have Americans being held there too.
All right, I want to pause right there. We'll get to Pakistan in a moment if we get that in before the president and his remarks, because I want to go back to Iran. The president has said that Iran's claim that they broke up a CIA spy ring is false. How is our intelligence on who they may have in custody inside Iran and what they may do? They say they are executing American people.
So to my knowledge, they're not necessarily executing American citizens. They're executing Iranians accused of working with Americans. However, they are holding American and have been for years, not to mention Bob Levinson, who has been gone for over a decade. They are actually holding, chained to a prison in their Evan prison. They are also holding Americans that they're also holding, accusing of spying. So the bottom line is they're going to continue to try to ramp up tensions. Our intelligence is pretty solid. The Israelis are also working very aggressively and have recently uncovered evidence of of a clandestine nuclear program in violation of the sanctions that they say they were following, of the program that they say they were following.
Congressman Waltz, I ask your forgiveness for having to be so fast speaking, but we're inside of a 2-minute warning. Red line. President said if they hurt an American citizen, red line. Are we there?
Oh, if they are actually executing U.S. citizens, yes, we're there. And I think a lot of this lashing out that you're seeing is because we didn't take firmer action when the president showed restraint before. They're like a bully. You have to punch them in the mouth, or they're going to keep trying to bully kids and take their lunch money.
You do realize that the criticism was that over that unmanned down drone would have been, well, you're going to war over something that didn't have an American citizen in it. The president pulls back. But if what you're saying is that they've carried out any of what they're saying, that would be a red line. All right. Historically, they are emboldened by perceived weakness, and they back down when faced with strength. That's how you have to treat these guys. This seems to be escalating. How do you tamp it down, I guess, would be the next question. Congressman Mike Waltz, great to see you.